You ever get threatened by a piece of paper? Not the kind with a big red past due or a lawyer's letterhead? No, just a plain old official-looking notice nailed to your own gate like a dare. That's how my week started. My road, the one down by the river, locked at the iron gate I paid for, cut-off line sharp as nightfall. No way around, no community path, just the quiet hum of boots on packed dirt and the low hiss of river wind. Donald Snipe. Yeah, that's a real name, stood in the headlights waving the HOA's claim in the air like a magic wand. He kept saying my private road was public. Said it to my face, said it to the iron, like if he repeated it enough, my deed would just fold itself up and disappear. But here's the part that still gets me. I had the county recorded deed in my pocket. Paper creased my name in ink, ready for anybody who still cares about land over labels. Not public, it says, as clear as the river on a cold morning. Private. And I thought that would be enough. I thought a record beat rumor. I was wrong. You ever feel the wind at night coming off water, almost like it's carrying a warning? Sometimes it's nothing, just weather. Sometimes it means trouble's on its way. That night I was halfway to my porch flashlight and hand boots, leaving dusty prints, when a pair of headlights hit the pasture. Made my gate look like a stage. Someone yelled freeze, and suddenly the deadbolt behind me clicked as Sarah shut the door. I heard the chain on my gate rattle, a little metallic voice in the dark. An SUV idled by the cattle guard, gravel popping under big tires. A man stepped out, uniform, sharp gun up. Not shaky, but not sure either. His name patch caught the light. Donald. Of course. I didn't move, didn't lift my hands. Just made my voice low, steady. This is private property. He didn't care about my name. Didn't ask if I was okay. Just stared at the gate like it insulted him. Open it, he said. This is a public HOA access road. My stomach dropped so fast I felt heat in my ears. There was another guard, younger, hanging backhand close to his belt, waiting for the cue. Then I heard Sarah's chair scrape across the porch. She never rushes rushings, how you lose control. She stepped into the light. Holster your weapon, she said. Donald didn't like that. This doesn't concern you. Sarah just looked at him, voice calm. It concerns me when you point a gun at people on private land. He tried again, same song, different verse. Community access must remain open. Procedure. The kind of words people use to turn theft into policy if nobody stands up. I told him again, you're on private land. That road's mine. He pointed his gun at the gate. Not me. You're blocking public access. Open it, or we'll document non-compliance. Sarah didn't flinch. Document it. And document yourself brandishing while you're at it. The young guard's breath went rough. Donald's jaw got tight. Ma'am, you're obstructing. Sarah raised her phone screen, lighting her face. For just a second, beep recording. Say it again. The part about my father's river access road being public HOA property. Donald flicked his eyes to the phone, then back to me. This is HOA jurisdiction now. Open the gate. Let me ask you, if you were standing where I was, your own land behind you, a man with a gun in front, would you open it just because he called it public? I kept my hands low. No drama. That road isn't yours, I said. I'm not a member. I'm the owner. The only sound was the SUV's engine and the river hush. Donald's lips twisted. You don't get to opt out. I didn't blink. I don't have to. I have a deed. Sarah waited out the quiet, then said, holster it. Step back to your vehicle and leave. Donald's gun dipped, not in surrender, he was calculating. Glanced at his guard, then back at us. Fine. Expect fines. Board action. We'll file a report. Sarah just nodded. File it. He made a show of holstering the weapon, slammed the SUV in reverse, and disappeared, headlights dragging across my gate like a threat. After that, the night belonged to us again. Sarah came down to the tool bench close enough I could hear her breathe. They're not confused, she said. They're rehearsed. And I nodded because I knew. Inside, she started building the wall document, everything save notices, pull camera footage, no arguments without receipts. We drank coffee at midnight, because sleep wasn't happening. Then the landline rang, ancient sound, always county or stubborn men. Morrison, I answered. Sheriff McKay. Jake still got cameras on your north gate. Sarah watched me. Yeah. He paused. One of my deputies saw HOA vehicles parked on your land after midnight. Lights off, engines running. My grip went white-knuckle. They're building a record to make you the problem, McKay said. Don't give them anything they can twist. And right then, staring at the dark window, I realized the fight wasn't at the gate. It was on paper. Next morning's sun was too honest for the mood. I found a notice pinned to the post: Public Access Road, HOA Jurisdiction. Wind flicked the corners like it was trying to get my attention. Sarah read it line by line. They printed it. Yeah, I said. It wasn't a request. It was written like a fact-polished language: compliance, jurisdiction, safety, but it never used the word owner. That word didn't help their story. My hands itched to tear it down. Sarah stopped me. Document it. She filmed every angle: front close-up, thumbtack chain, the empty road. The mailbox at the lane looked innocent, but I started to feel watched even there. Sarah crouched by the tire tracks. They came back. I nodded. This isn't about safety, she said. I stared at the bold word public like it might change what the land really was. It's about language, I said, the kind that turns theft into policy. Sarah nodded. Exactly. We drove into town before the lie could grow legs. At the diner parking lot, half full, men leaned on trucks, coffee in hand, talking like they wanted to be near trouble but not inside it. The bulletin board inside: flyers, lost dogs, a crooked sheet, and blocked letters. Community notice: access road blocked, safety concern. Under it, someone had scribbled: Jake blocked the public road. My jaw ached. Sarah kept her cool. They're making it social first, legal second. Waitress set down coffee, didn't want to ask, but did. You okay, Jake? I'm fine, I lied. People say you blocked the public road. There is no public road on my land, I said, calm as I could. Not today, not ever. She looked relieved, but left quick. Sarah leaned over. That's the move. Social, then legal. I took a sip. Coffee tasted like old pennies. So we get ahead of the legal part. We left before breakfast. At the post office, the usual junk. Then a thick envelope with a green strip: certified. Heart started racing before I even opened it. Sarah filmed the clerk stamping it: received. That word hit like a nail through wood. I opened it in the truck. Notice of violation, obstruction of community access, fines, threatened board action. Signed, Bethany Whitfield, HOA President. They're calling my gate a violation, I said. Sarah wasn't surprised. The gate's the only thing stopping them from acting like it's already theirs. Driving back, a white SUV tailed us up the lane, stopped by the mailbox. Bethany stepped out, polished, smiling like this was all a misunderstanding. Good morning, Mr. Morrison. All practiced lines. Sarah filmed from the passenger seat. Procedure doesn't create property rights, she said. Bethany gave her a thin smile. Your access road is public HOA property. Must remain accessible. Same words, same tone. I held out my deed. This is my deed. That road stays on my land. Bethany didn't even look. That document is under review. Until the county clarifies, the HOA will treat the road as community access. Sarah zoomed in. Are you recording me? Bethany asked. Yes, Sarah said. Repeat your claim. Bethany did. Over and over, repetition is power. Then we'll let the county speak, I said. That would be best, she replied. In the meantime, I expect your cooperation. She left like the matter was settled. We went straight to the courthouse. Clerk set a thick folder on the counter. Sarah found what mattered: petition to annex roadway for community access maintenance. County stamp. Sarah tapped it. She's trying to make public official. Suddenly it clicked. They weren't enforcing rules, they were rewriting ownership. That night, rain came in, hard wind pushing it against the windows. Sarah sat with my laptop, coffee gone cold, printer humming out stills from the cameras. She said the next attack would come by envelope or at midnight. Trail cam beeped. On the screen, 2 men in rain slickers, flashlights sweeping my gate. They're back, I said. For the river road, Sarah answered. I grabbed my jacket. Sarah was already recording as we stepped into the storm. Lightning flashed, 2 men at my chain, one crouched. Evening, I yelled. They froze, flashlight swung up, beam shoving at my chest. HOA, security, one shouted. We're restoring public access. I took a step forward. Restoring public access to what? To the river road. This is public HOA access. Sarah's phone beeped, her voice cold. Show the recorded easement. Guard hesitated. Authorized by the board, he said. Board doesn't own my land, I replied. Not public, not HOA, not yours. Sarah pushed, say it again. Say you're restoring public access to a road you don't own. Thunder cracked. Guard flinched. Flashlight caught the trail cam, blinking red. You touch that chain, you'll answer to the county. He laughed, but it was thin. County already knows it's under review. Under review doesn't mean yours, Sarah shot back. Lightning lit their faces clear as day. One guard turned away like he remembered he had a future to lose. Let's go, the first muttered. They hustled back to their SUV engine, fishtailed in the mud, and the night swallowed them. We got the line, Sarah said. The chain hung where it belonged. They want the road. Not peace, I said. Back inside the kitchen became a war room. Ledger pages, maps, camera stills. Next morning, another envelope, certified strip. Notice of intent to seek injunction. Obstruction of community easement. They're moving fast, I said. Boots at midnight, paperwork at breakfast, Sarah replied. Sheriff McKay showed up. Looked at the stills. They'll say you obstructed a public road, he said. I didn't, I told him. I know, but they're building a record. Sarah slid a still over restoring public access, printed right on their faces. That afternoon, a plain notice, administrative hearing, community easement access, 3 days. They're forcing a public arena, Sarah said. Good. That's where we ended. Then an envelope with no name, just ledger sheets, numbers, River Road Maintenance Special Assessment, over and over. They weren't just claiming my road. They were charging for it. Fake maintenance shell contractor. So the public story is how they justify the money, I said. They can't bill what they don't control? Sarah nodded. So they call it public, then they collect. We drove to the diner. Ernest Walker was already there, hands around his mug, looking like a man who's watched too many lines get moved on paper. I told him they were calling my road public. It's never been public, Ernest said. He slid a folder across the table. Old survey maps, clear boundaries. That access road's always been Morrison land. Before the lake houses. Before the HOA. So they were lying. Not just lying, they're profiting, Ernest said. Home again? More maps, receipts? Ledgers, phones, snapping photos, printers running hot. Then Sarah Coleman arrived, thick binder under her arm. You said River Road. That means water. She opened her binder. If the HOA controls the road, they control the water access. They can bill the county for maintenance that never happens. All because they call it public, I said. Exactly, Coleman answered. Public is leverage. Leverage is money. Sarah called Marcus Reed. Vendor looks like a shell. I think they're laundering it. Tonight works, Marcus answered. Later, down by the gate, envelope under a rock, flash drive, one word. Proof. Sarah sealed it. We don't shout louder. We prove quieter. That night trail cam caught Donald Snipe. He stared into the lens, then walked away. He knew. The HOA clubhouse sat over the lake, windows glowing, parking lot packed. This wasn't about community. It was about a fight. Inside, the board lined up behind Bethany like jurors waiting for a cue. Bethany was all posture and power. Donald leaned by the exit arms, crossed the threat you don't have to say out loud. Bethany called the meeting to order. Proposed revisions to security provisions, public access, inspection authority. A man raised his hand. Inspection authority, where Bethany smiled. Where necessary, Sarah whispered. She's legalizing trespass. I waited, then stood. Madam President, under what recorded authority is my river access road? Public, HOA property. The room went quiet. Bethany's tone stayed sweet, but her words sharpened. This session is about community access. I asked about recorded authority, not community feelings. Sarah backed me up. Plat doesn't override a deed. If you're claiming public property, show the recorded easement. Bethany didn't want to answer. Homeowners started speaking up. I heard he blocked a public road. That road's always been his. Bethany tried to bring order, but the room was shifting. Sarah stood. Your security chief pointed a firearm at me on private land. Gasps. That is an allegation. It's a recorded contact. We're here because you're trying to vote your way into someone else's property. Another homeowner. Can security really enter yards now, Bethany? Only when necessary. Necessary to who? Questions spread. I said it plain that River Road isn't HOA property. I'm not a member. I'm the owner. The words landed. Bethany said, "Your refusal will be noted. The board will proceed." But her gavel didn't feel final. After, in the parking lot, Sarah found a spent casing .40, she said. Donald stepped up. "You think you can embarrass us, Sarah, cool as ever?" "Not if you keep leaving proof behind." He forced a smile, but it looked like a confession. Back home, Marcus Reed arrived, dropped his wet jacket, and went straight to work. Flash drive plugged in emails, invoices, plans. "They're cooked," Marcus said. Slide after slide, parcel map petition, the maintenance loop. They weren't protecting the community, they were billing it. Marcus said, "Now we take it public." Second meeting, same clubhouse, now packed and tense. Marcus presented the proof deed survey, the county stamped petition, the billing scheme emails with "Keep Morrison under pressure." The room turned. Bethany tried to call it harassment, but Marcus showed his badge. Federal jurisdiction applies when funds are routed through misrepresentation. Sheriff McKay said, "Ma'am, sit down." Donald called it a setup. Sarah, "No, this is what you did." The final slide, "Keep Morrison under pressure." Silence. Bethany's hands shook. Homeowners started shouting. Sheriff McKay stepped in. "Miss Whitfield, you're done." Justice finally was loud. Walking home that night, a note was taped to my gate, heavy handwriting. "You made a mistake. Sarah bagged it. Now it's evidence." The post office next day, another certified envelope. Now Bethany was suing me for defamation interference, as if I'd vandalized her living room instead of defending my land. I wanted to react. Sarah whispered, "We answer with record, not rage." Marcus said, "This is their last delay. If they can't win, they'll wear you out." That's the game, isn't it? Not just threats, not just fines, just grinding you down until you give up what's already yours. County called an emergency meeting. Folding chairs, people packed in, Judge Ramirez presiding. "This isn't gossip," he said. "This is governance and property law." Bethany stood, tried to argue. "Sit down," Mrs. Whitfield Ramirez ordered. He asked me, "You claim the road is private by deed?" "Yes, sir." He asked the sheriff about footage, timestamps matched. Sarah calm as ice. "It proves conduct. It proves intent." Homeowners stood up. They fined me into silence. They towed my truck. They threatened my job. Judge Ramirez said, "A deed is not a popularity contest." Then HOA leadership is suspended. County oversight from here. The room exhaled. Someone said it quiet, but sure. Finally, someone fought back. I didn't feel proud. I felt relief. The last hearing, courthouse air, honest and cold. Bethany sat with her lawyer eyes searching for leverage, not truth. When the clerk called the case, Marcus laid out the documents, deed survey, parcel map, the lot lines plain as day. That claim is false. Sarah read out the annex petition, the maintenance scheme. Emails. Keep Morrison under pressure. Judge Ramirez's eyes pinned Bethany. "Your association claimed this road was public." "We believed we had jurisdiction," she whispered. Ramirez read the deed again. "The river access road is private property by deed. HOA's jurisdiction ends at Mr. Morrison's fence line." Relief washed through me.